Hi, I wanted to share something that I find very useful and I think everybody should know. One of the first things you tell people who are starting on an industrial or starting sewing in general on an older machine, because you have to do the same thing, is make sure you hold your the thread when you first start sewing so that you don't get thread jam or you get your threads tangled. And one thing that I have learned that eliminates the need to do that every time is using a stitch starter, which is basically a piece of fabric, a scrap. I usually have a ton of those next to me. I cut them to squares and keep them next to me. This is interfaced, so it's a little thick, which I like very much, but any couple of thin pieces folded together would do the same thing. And what you do is you just start stitching on it, hence the name stitch starter. And that's it. Your thread is always held back because it's on the stitch starter. It stays on. I always have a lot floating around and I keep them next to me because it's seriously one of the best things I've learned when sewing. And the best part is you have both hands when you're first starting. If you need to hold stuff in place, you don't have to juggle holding thread and holding the fabric and all that stuff, and you go straight on your piece without worrying about tangled threads or loose ends or whatever. And like I said, I always have them. I used another piece on this to start on, and all you do right now is just cut them off and your thread is staying caught. You don't have to do it every single time you start a new line of stitching. I keep a lot of them or use the same one over and over until it's messed up and throw it away and start another one. One other useful thing is I find is when you first start on it, and you can check your tension, make sure everything is okay before you go ahead and go on your fabric, especially if you're doing top stitching. You don't want any messes or holes in the fabric if you have to take it off and redo it again. So this helps. Of course, different tension, different thickness will need different tension, but at least it tells you you're good to go. There's no tangles, nothing is jammed, you're good to go, and free hands. Anyway, I think it's an amazing thing and I think everybody should know about it, and I hope it helps.